What's up everybody, this is Matty Mo, and today we're reviewing the 2015 Moto E second generation smartphone, and this time it comes with LTE. So years ago, if you asked me where Motorola would stand up against the competition, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you. But now they make these really cheap but high quality smartphones, and that's exactly what the Moto E is in a nutshell, a cheap phone that runs really well. Now don't get me wrong, it's not running flagship specs, and honestly for the price it really shouldn't be. But this phone is perfect for someone who's buying their first smartphone, maybe a pay-as-you-go user, or even as a backup phone for your main device. The Moto E is really nice to look at. I would even call it beautiful. It's small, fits comfortably in my hand, and every once in a while I found my finger nestling its way into a little dimple on the back. The device really does feel secure when you hold it. In fact, I found it to feel more premium than my Nexus 5. Even the volume and power button has this nice clicking feel to it. And Motorola even went out of their way to make the power button feel more rugged so that you can tell the difference between the power and the volume controls. Sometimes it's the little things that matter. Now the phone itself is wrapped in a removable bumper which Motorola calls a color band, and if you don't like the color, you can head to the Motorola store to buy a different one. The benefit of these bands is that if your phone drops and the bands get scratched, you can easily swap with a new one. When taking the band off, you get access to the SIM tray and MicroSD card slot. Now because the phone only has 8GB of storage space, which is actually double the size of the original Moto E, the ability to add extra storage is a welcome addition. Now on top of the phone you have your speaker, which is pretty loud, and I'm glad Motorola continues to put their speakers on the front of the device as it offers better sound quality. And the same holds true for when you're actually having a conversation. The screen size got bumped up to 4.5 inches, but it still rocks the same 960 by 540 resolution display. However, this time it has an IPS panel, which is an improvement over last year's TN panel. When looking at the screen, you can notice all the pixels, but after a few hours, you kind of got used to it. The screen is also bright and has decent viewing angles. Now, one of the great things about the Moto E is the actual software on it. It runs an almost clean version of Android 5.0 Lollipop, except for a few nice Motorola apps and features that don't get in the way or slow down the phone. Because the phone is using a new 64-bit quad-core Snapdragon 410 processor, it had no problems browsing the web, watching videos, and playing most games. To be honest, the phone felt extremely fluid, and it was only on rare occasions that the phone would stutter or temporary lag, but I had to have a lot of apps open to make this happen. So one of the things that I was actually worried about was the actual battery life. Because the phone only has a 2400 milliamp battery, I wasn't sure if this device would get me through the whole day. Let's be serious, most of the devices that we use today have a 2800 milliamp battery and over, so it was one of my major concerns. But because it's using the new Snapdragon 410 processor, which does a really good job at consuming power, and the fact that the screen's only 4.5 inches, it had no problems getting me through the whole day and still having a lot of juice left over. Remember, the phone only has to power 245 pixels per inch, so when you combine all that stuff together, you're gonna get some pretty awesome battery life. Now Motorola includes a few personal touches as well, like the ability to glance at incoming notifications on your display without unlocking the phone. But the one I enjoyed the most is the twist your wrist feature, which opens up the camera app, and it's a really handy way to quickly snap a photo. Which actually brings me to my next topic, and that's the camera, which I have to say is really bad. And I mean terribly bad. The photos look grainy, and the front-facing camera might as well be a potato. It's sad because it's really the only upsetting feature about this phone. So if you're using apps that are all about taking photos and videos such as Instagram and Vine, then this phone might be a deal breaker. So here's the bottom line. For a low-end, budget-friendly phone, the $150 Moto E is going to be your best bang for your buck. Now it may not have the best specs or a full HD display, but you're going to get a decent to good user experience, especially for the price. For the rest of you out there that needs a decent camera, there's always the Moto G, which is Motorola's mid-tier smartphone. So give this video a big thumbs up if you're liking the new Moto E. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it. I've also included the full list of the specs in the description below and also on my website. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And I'll see everybody in the next episode.